Good morning, people. Make sure y'all come in here and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Go to my website, get you a copy of this dope offering, double CD, PILLMATIC 2. Just got all the hot underground niggas in it on it, produced by THRU. Go get that, therealdribble.com. Gotta keep this shit in y'all face. Part 3 coming soon. Good morning, though. Good morning, good morning, good morning. When y'all come in here, man, share this live stream to y'all social media platforms, please. He said LL can beat his ass. Oh boy, y'all came in here firing. We gonna talk about it. Everybody asking what platform he said it on. I don't know exactly which platform he made the statement on, but it was announced by way of World Star Hip Hop's website. I don't know if World Star's still a big thing like that, but their website got a lot of, got millions of fucking followers. Young Bleed ain't dead, man. They put out a post later, after it was announced that Young Bleed passed away. There was another post that followed it that said it's not true. Young Bleed ain't dead. That's not true. LL beating Jay is crazy, but I'll let him get it off. They say he's in ICU. Y'all like this video, man. Share this joint. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I need y'all to hit the like button. Like it up. Like it up. As soon as you come in here, hit that like button. He said, nobody can beat Hove. Gully, I just watched your Bones Bagante interview with Smoney on the floor. That's one of the reasons I came and got on live early. I need y'all to go watch that. I need y'all to go watch that interview I did last night with Bones Bagante. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. It's a lot of fucking history in there. A lot of shit that y'all didn't know about Freestyle Friday, the way it was produced, the way that the rappers auditioned for it, the top guys that ever competed on there. You got Poster Boy, you got Jen, you got Bones Bagante, Loaded Lux, P, C Fashion. It's just some real major dudes on there that went on to do some really good things and shit afterwards. But Poster Boy, go check out that discussion. Anyway, they said LL Cool J signed the Versuz contract already. He already called Jay out. Yeah, right. Where'd you get that from? Jay-Z says nobody can beat him in a Versuz. And some of the names that was mentioned was Scarface, Drake, Lil Wayne, but in parentheses, they said that Lil Wayne would need his mixtape catalog. Jay-Z, hold on. Tupac is deceased. It was Lil Wayne, Drake, LL Cool J, and Nas. I don't know, man. I'm a Nas fan. I'm a Hov fan. I don't think Nas got more songs than Jay. I ain't lying. I don't think Nas's bag is deep as Jay's. How many albums do Nas have to his credit? I know he just dropped like 5 within the last few years and shit like that. Before that 5 that he dropped with Hit Boy or whatever, how many albums did Nas have? He probably, that 5, he probably caught up to Jay, because Jay continued to drop album after album after album. He got a very deep resume. Scarface could beat Jay. Who said 17? Nas got 10. He don't, and I'm a Nas fan. You do react to songs. Man, Jay-Z got a boatload of fucking music, man. Like, the thing about Jay-Z's albums is his batting average. If Jay-Z dropped the album, especially early on in his career, if he had 14 songs on there, 12 of them joints was guaranteed bangers. I bullshit you not. And that went on for some years. From Reasonable Doubt to Hard Knock Life in my lifetime, like the ratio of hits or bangers that he had on them joints it's just crazy. For real. Jay has no answer for Illmatic. You crazy as hell. Reasonable Doubt is better than Illmatic. We need to dispel the whole thing with Illmatic. Illmatic ain't even Nas's best CD. It Was Written was Nas's best solo album. It Was Written. It's not Illmatic. Nas has 17 one group album with The Firm and a collab album with Damian Marley. Don't even put Eminem in the Eminem. Eminem will get gonged trying to battle somebody like Jay-Z. He can't do it. He can't do it. Not even close. The thing with the Versuz competition is a lot of the way that it's judged is how people react to the songs that come on. And we talking about a performance. We talking about putting somebody on stage to compete against Jay-Z. Jay-Z got certain songs that'll just wipe a person out. He do. He said no M talking. Yeah, no M talk in this chat, please. Eminem have good bangers with G Unit, 50 Cent, Shady compilation. Them wasn't his songs. He was on songs with 50 Cent, or you talking about the realest nigga with Biggie Smalls. They put that song together after Biggie was dead, but Eminem is on that joint. Eminem can't compete. He can't. Eminem will lose. For real. Busta is a tough one. It ain't even a debate. The issue is, will we ever know? Because Jay will never do it. I don't have Jay-Z sharing a stage with anybody, number one. He's not the type of person that will do that. I don't have him doing that. And if he did do it, it would probably have to be somebody of Nas's caliber. I've always said this, and I'm sticking to it. Nas won that battle. He did. But I don't think Nas is a better rapper than Jay-Z. And Nas rap his ass off. He rap backwards. And when I'm speaking about him, I'm talking about them real potent songs that he has, like Project Windows, Shootouts is similar to Wild West. The songs that was on It Was Written. Then you gotta put One Love in there. You gotta put Life's a Bitch in there. That featured AZ. I can't. But I'm saying this because I bought them CDs. There were certain CDs that I got from Nas that they wasn't all of that. Like, I went out and bought that Streets Disciple CD, and that had that hit song with Quan, Moment of Silence, and that was a double disc. That joint wasn't no good all like that. It has some cuts on there, but it wasn't no good. Nah. He said Nas could perform Ether. Jay-Z music, not all that. You bugging. What about Immortal Technique? Come the fuck on, man. Busta's a long day for anybody. Busta might be a good one. Peace to Gully. Shouts out to Bones for that interview. Shit was classic as usual. Thank you. DMX, who's deceased. That's a great competitor that you can put next to Jay-Z. Powerful music. That Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood joint, flawless. That CD would have to be considered. His debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Another heavy one. But as X went further in his career and shit, it kind of like he still put out dope songs, but the whole LPs they kind of like he kind of started to decline a little bit, in my opinion. Nas B sides would do him dirty like Silent Murder. That's a good one. Brad is a sleeper. I seen an interview. I think he was on Drink Champs, and they asked Scarface about verses, and he said my catalog from 1989. I've said this before. Scarface he was before Hove and Jay-Z and all of those guys. He said my catalog from 1989 to 2017. That's a long day for anybody. I think Scarface's catalog in terms of battling Jay-Z would probably do better than Nas. That's just my personal opinion. I'm saying this because I listened to Scarface from the beginning. Scarface is a very, 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 very heavy dude. I'm talking about by himself, not with the Ghetto Boys. I'm talking about just his solo joints. Because they often, even though whenever the Ghetto Boys would put out a project, there would be solo Scarface songs on them joints. Like the first song that captivated the nation by Scarface. It was called Scarface. I started small time, dope gang, cocaine, pushing rocks on the block. Y'all remember that? Doom 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 doom. That's a heavy one. Heavy. Kanye versus Hove. Not a chance. I don't get the whole Kanye thing, man. I don't think y'all get it. I think y'all been programmed to say that shit. What planet what what planet do y'all be on where y'all listen to these Kanye bangers that I missed? I could name some dope ass Kanye songs, but I probably won't be able to name 10. LL definitely has the catalog. Ja Rule could spar. Ja Rule will get wiped the fuck off the stage quick. All that singing and shit, that wouldn't help him against Jay-Z. It wouldn't. You compare Jay to anybody, that would be a 3 hour long versus. Ice Cube, that's a good one. Ice Cube, that's a real good one. Real good one. Since y'all mentioned Ice Cube, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that today is the 34th birthday of Death Certificate. It came out on October 29th, 1991. Flawless. Somebody said Ice Cube. Ice Cube is a heavy. You got to do the research on Ye. Why do I have to do the research on Kanye West when I have an ear? Don't you know that when some dope ass music hit the airwaves or hit the streets, people be talking about that shit? That shit be in the barber shops and shit. What type of barber shops did you guys frequent? Every barber shop that I've ever been to, it was heavy hip hop being played in the motherfucker. Heavy discussions. Kanye West was never the topic of discussion in no barbershop. Never. Hello? Anybody? Anybody got something to support this Kanye West madness that this man just said? Why do I need to do research on Kanye West? Kanye can't even get past the long line of competitors, the heavyweights. Scarface, Ice Cube, Nas, 50 Cent, DMX, all of those types of guys. He can't even sit in that class. He can't. Ice Cube writing for NWA at 16. Oh, I can't forget about LL. Hove bag is deep. However, we have learned that track list impacts the win more than we ever thought. That is facts. Track list is very, very, very important. When No Limit and Cash Money battle, before the battle, I said to myself, damn, it'd be dope Master P can perform, break him off something. But Pimp C is dead. He still used the song, which I thought was a good idea. So I guess posse cuts can be performed, even though, you know, you got some features on there. What the fuck does my man said barbershop versus selling out venues worldwide? Them wasn't black folks in them goddamn venues, my nigga. That's not how you gauge record sales. Is not how you gauge a song or you gauge music. We said this repeatedly. LL Cool J said on Booming System, you know what's funky, 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 because you heard it from hearsay. The jam that you love that don't be getting no airplay. A lot of Jay-Z's heavyweight music wasn't not on the radio. That's same for DMX. The same for Scarface. So the whole selling out tours worldwide, you talking about what he did in Europe and a bunch of other shit, man. Stop it. And just for the record, the hood, the streets, the barbershops was always the proving ground for music. Your career can die in them barbershops. You'll be cooked. That's all it takes is the niggas in the... You come in the barbershop and your song come on. You got you got four barber chairs. And you got four people sitting in each chair. I mean, yeah. You got four barbers and you got four people sitting in the chairs. That's 8 people. That's all you need is them 8 people to say, that's some bullshit. Turn that shit off. It'll never come back on in the barbershop. And everybody that come in that barbershop, them niggas gonna tell them, yo, that shit weak. And it's not gonna be sold in the barbershop. Don't forget music was being sold in the barbershops. E40. You cut it the fuck out, man. E40 ain't even the man in the Bay Area. He's not. He's a legend. He had some good offerings. He cannot do nothing with Spice One. Not even close. Like when More Bounce came on in the movie Barbershop, Hove ain't doing music for barbers. The fuck is you talking about? The fuck is you talking about? What are you talking about? We gotta... Moderators, get these nerds out of my chat. When you say shit like that, it tells me about the environment that you come from. It does. It does. Only way that I can help you relate to this is that you would have to go watch the movie Barbershop. What did you see on the movie Barbershop? You seen the barbers. You seen the people that sit in the fucking chairs. You seen the fucking boosters come through there. You seen the hustlers come through there. That was a perfect depiction of a barbershop. You seen people come through there that wasn't even getting a haircut. They just come in there and they just playing chess. That was a perfect depiction of a barbershop. If your music came on in the barbershop and your music could win the barbershop, God damn it, that's a good song. That's a good project. If your music could survive that, all of those listening ears, you was official. If you didn't, you never got played again. Nas got 17 albums. Man, he said Spice One, stop it. You out of your goddamn mind. You out of your goddamn mind. You clearly don't know hip hop. Do you know who was Tupac's favorite rappers? Spice One was one of them. Spice One was a mega superstar out there in that Bay Area before Tupac became a superstar. Did you not know that? Did you not know that? Have you ever heard Jealous Got Me Strapped with Tupac and Spice One? Have you ever heard that? You probably never heard that. You don't even know the reverence that people hold for Spice One. I can tell. You have no fucking clue. You're lost. You ever heard Murder Show with MC8 and Spice One? You never heard that, have you? I know you didn't. You lost. You don't know what you're talking about. He said we all made the same face. He said, damn, Gully, they tried to infiltrate. E40 has more Billboard hits as well. Man, you can jump up and down until you blue in the face talking about E40. E40 is not better than no fucking Spice One. You out of your goddamn mind. Clearly out of your mind. He's not even better than Sibo. Not even close. Gully, are you saying Tupac wouldn't be able to beat Jay-Z? Tupac was uh, Tupac was killed in 96, September 96. So he didn't get off enough of a catalog to go, long-winded with Jay-Z. If you want to, if you're talking about at the time when he was alive, he probably would beat Jay-Z. I'm pretty sure he would beat Jay-Z because Jay-Z didn't have a lot of music out in 96. Reasonable Doubt came out in 96. He says, see, we grew up outside, they didn't. Yeah, this motherfucker here talking about E40, man. You bugging out, man. We talking about this, but we know Jay ain't doing a versus for real. He thinks he's above the culture. He always felt like that. He always carried it like that. For him to make this statement, though, I think he had grounds to make this statement. Believe you me, when this statement came out, only a couple of people said, oh, I can compete with him. I can get on stage with him. That was, of course, LL Cool J, Scarface, Nas, Ice Cube. Y'all can stop saying Lil Wayne. Y'all can stop saying Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne can't do nothing with no damn Jay-Z. People were saying on Instagram, Lil Wayne's mixtape catalog. If you want to include mixtapes, that probably would change the dynamic of the whole thing. But Jay-Z got mixtape shit too. He does. Nas got mixtape shit too. Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne needs to be removed from the conversations when people are talking about hip hop giants. Lil Wayne ain't even the best on Cash Money. Lil Wayne ain't better than Juvenile. Lil Wayne's music ain't better than Juvenile's. It's not. Lil Wayne, don't, ain't nothing in Lil Wayne's catalog can fuck with 400 Degrees. Spice One was wrecking shit with that flow. Today, E40 is better than Spice One. My most recent listening ear that I heard of Spice One was him and Mr. Fab doing, I think it was called Welcome Back to the Ghetto. They just remade Spice One song, Welcome to the Ghetto. I haven't heard E40's music in a long time. I haven't. I haven't heard E40's music in a long time. Spice One is Blue Da Vinci's cousin. Spice One is Scarface's cousin too. Niggas sing the blues. They don't know nothing about Spice One, man. I can't believe y'all even did this. When you mention somebody like Spice One, you talking about one of the best that ever did it on the West Coast. Like when people make those West Coast lists, Ice Cube would be number one. The people that fall in line behind Ice Cube on that list, Spice One is gonna be one of the like second, third, fourth slots, depending on how you feel and shit. Y'all can put Tupac in there. Tupac don't have a better catalog than Ice Cube. He didn't when he was living. He didn't. Tupac never had a better catalog than Ice Cube. This is the truth. I know it's some Tupac extremists, but it's the truth. Ice Cube went on a fucking tear, man. Like when Ice Cube was with NWA, he was a problem. He left NWA, battled them niggas, destroyed them niggas. He went on a tear, man. Like movies and shit like that took Ice Cube away. So y'all know him as Craig from Friday and shit like that. But people my age know him as one of the real pioneers of gangster rap. And he's almost in a class by himself. For real. Everybody keeps saying he's dead. He's not dead. He's living in Cuba. Oh my God. Moderators, get that nigga out of here. Moderators, get that nigga out of here right now. That nigga that just said Tupac is alive in Cuba, get him out of here right now. Hurry up. Trey Bucks, get that nigga out of here. All y'all that's saying Kanye West, I'm not gonna kick y'all out. Y'all entitled to your opinion. This is what it boils down to for real. A lot of Jay-Z's music, right? Jay-Z was talking about shit that if you didn't live that lifestyle, it didn't mean a lot to you. It didn't mean a lot to you. Jay-Z said a lot of shit that was dead on point for a life that a lot of people was living. And that's what made him important. That's what made him beloved by a lot of people. Because he spoke to a certain audience. The same with Tupac, whereas Jay-Z was speaking directly to hustlers. Tupac rapped about being the broke nigga and shit. The broke niggas liked the Tupac. He rapped about struggle and shit like that. Tupac wasn't talking about kilos and shit like that. He wasn't. He was talking about coming up. That's what he rapped about. So people identified with that. Same with DMX. DMX rapped about struggle, not having, coming up. So people identified with that. The passion that he was, people like, man, I lived that same lifestyle. I love this nigga. And that's what, the same thing applies to Jay-Z. There's certain people, he said it on a song with Young Jeezy. He said, the dope boys love when I talk like this. Y'all remember he said that? Nah, Hov, talk that shit. The dope boys go crazy when they hear the boy Jay-Z. He meant that. That's what he stood for. So if that wasn't your life, then you will say, womp womp. I've heard people say, especially when he first came out, people would say all he talked about was money and ice. Some of that was true. And it might have turned people who didn't have money and wasn't in the jury, it might have just turned you off like, damn, that's all he talked about. He addressed this. He addressed this on certain songs. He addressed it. But his catalog, he has a lot of fucking good music. Not until I went to a Jay-Z show one time, right? And I didn't like it. I've seen him in show, and I've seen him in concert a few times. When I went to go see him in the Rock the Mic tour, during the Rock the Mic era, it was fire. He was that nigga, right? I went and seen him later when he was wearing all black everything. He was talking about wearing all black and shit like that. Can't remember what album that was. It might have been like 2012 or some shit like that. Whenever he was talking that all black shit, he started wearing black a lot. I went to the show and it was him and Drake and somebody else. And I didn't like it because he was performing his new songs. I specifically remember him performing that New York song. New York. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear this shit, yo. I don't want to hear this shit, man. I want to hear the shit from Bulletproof Vest Jay-Z. That's the Jay-Z that I liked it when he was wearing a bulletproof vest. Some of y'all might not remember that far back when he was wearing it. This is the streets is watching Jay-Z when he was just going crazy and shit. But he does have a lot of fucking good music. I bought them CDs, man. Jay-Z was one of them guys, DMX too, and 50 Cent, that you could play the whole CD and you wouldn't have to skip anything. You could just let that shit rock. He had several discs like that. He did. Did anybody say Pusha T yet? Man, Pusha T ain't in this class, man. You tripping. My man said, I'm a Spice One, baby. Me too. Reasonable Doubt is way better. I went track for track with my homie and he was in disbelief. Reasonable Doubt is flawless. Cube can't hold a lighter to Pac. You out of your damn mind. You out of your mind, man. You out of your mind. You're bugging the fuck out. Tupac ain't the king of the West Coast, yo. Ice Cube is. Tupac passed away in 96, right? Let's just stop it right there where he passed away at. So that means you're gonna have some heavy shit from Tupac. Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me. That first one, Strictly for My niggas. That was Strictly for My niggas. The first one, whatever that first one was, it only had a few cuts on it. I can't remember what. Strictly for My niggas came out in 93, and that had, I think, Gotta Keep Your Head Up. Them first couple of joints, man, they had bangers on there, but I'm talking about the whole project. Ice Cube was dropping do you know that Ice Cube started that Jackin' for Beat shit? Rapping on everybody else's track. That was an Ice Cube song. He did that in the 80s. Did you know that? It might have been 89. Do you know Ice Cube started that Jackin' for Beat shit? You know how when Game has battle rap people and he rap on like 4 or 5 different hip hop classics, Ice Cube started that. You ever heard of A Gangster's Fairy Tale? Little boys and girls, they all love me. He takes a bunch of cartoon characters and make a rap song, turn them into gangsters and shit like that. You tripping, man. Like, you tripping. 20-song live battle. Jay-Z will bore people out. It's based on a playlist. Southern hustlers don't listen to Jay-Z. I can't disagree with you on that. People down south just weren't into Jay-Z. Jay-Z said on a song, right? He said he is to the East Coast. He said he is to the East Coast what Snoop is, to the West Coast what Face is to Houston. What I mean by this is each of these regions had their own Hove. If you get what I'm saying. Each of these regions, the South, they have their own Hove. His name is Brad Jordan, Scarface. The West Coast, they got their own Hove. That would be Ice Cube, or you could say Snoop Dogg, like he said in the song. At the time when Jay said that, Snoop was probably the nigga and shit. But every region has their own Hove. Let's just leave it at that. Jay-Z kept us in a dictionary. Didn't matter. Jay's kid photos depicted a Scarface like brawl. Dear Mama, keep your head up. Ice Cube has nothing for him. Man, Dear Mama is like a goddamn funeral song. Don't nobody want to hear no shit like that. It's a good song. We get it, man. That was a sad, depressing song, man. He talking about his mom was smoking crack and all of that shit, man. That's not a song that we gonna listen to repeatedly. Man, cut that shit off, man. Don't nobody want to hear no goddamn Dear Mama, man. Sadie, don't you want it sweet? See, the hook is Sweet Sadie, man. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear that. We get it. You went through some tumultuous shit. And that song is what made people love him because some people had that life. But don't nobody want to hear that shit. Period. Have you ever heard a song from Ice Cube, HHM, Boss Man 101? I appreciate your super chat. Content wise, no one touches Jay-Z. Maybe Nas and Scarface, but Kanye, Drake, Future has controlled music for the last 20 years. I have to agree with you about them being some of the top guys for the last 20 years. Have y'all ever heard a song from Ice Cube called Hand of the Dead Body? Anybody in here ever heard a song from Ice Cube called Hand of the Dead Body? Niggas don't believe that song. The brother's wrong. Gangsters don't live that long. That's Ice Cube and Scarface. Now, those of you who are familiar with that song, take that song and put it on a scale. That's just Cube and Scarface. That is a orca big song, right? With two of the best that ever did it in life on one track. That's the type of shit Ice Cube got for your ass. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man. Shh. Once upon a time in the projects, yo. It's only one, maybe two people that can get with Jay, and DMX is gone. DMX will give him a battle. That fucking Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood CD, that motherfucker was a banger. I was on the monitor when that was out. He got some shit on there. That Robin Still With You, Dogs, niggas, what? That's a hell of a song, man. I listen to that all the time. That's a hell of a song. Some songs just be like, God damn. No Vaseline, one of the greatest diss songs of all time. Down South wasn't into a lot of East Coast MCs. They admitted not being heavy into Wu-Tang, Nas, Jay, etc. I agree. Somebody said Big Git be hating. Who do you think is the Hove for the Midwest? The Midwest. Who do I think would be Hove of the Midwest? Me personally, from what I've heard and what I feel in his music, it's a dude from the Midwest. His name is Benny Franks. He a big nigga, he a fat nigga. He was in a rap group called the Taylor Boys from Chicago. They used to call him Body Bag at a point in time. If Chicago was considered the Midwest, to me, it's Benny Franks. I'm serious. In that same city, you got Kanye West, you got Common, you got Lupe Fiasco too. All three of those guys was more successful than Benny Franks. But you said Hove, and Benny Franks talked that shit. He do. People don't really know catalogs. They should have a top 5 verses. The top 5 best rappers alive And Dead top 5 songs: Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac, Nas, and Kiss. Gongu Roach, Gully, were you aware? Ah! The Kim Osorio got arrested by the feds. I sent you an email on it. I didn't know that, but I'm gonna share all of our interviews. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna share all of my interviews with her. What did she do? America's Most Wanted is like the West Coast Ready to Die. I think America's Most Wanted is better than Ready to Die. I'm not gonna lie. I seen Ice Cube in concert. The same concert that I seen Ice Cube in, Biggie Smalls opened up for him. Biggie opened up for him because Biggie was just coming out. Biggie had the song Juicy, and I think Can't You See Can't You See You and Me with Total. He had that. So this is probably 95. They had Ice Cube on stage with an electric chair. He was up there in an electric chair. I seen him at the Gund Arena, Cleveland, Ohio. And he performed a Nigga You Love to Hate. And you know, when the song comes on, he's walking down the hall and they're going to put him in an electric chair, and they say, "Do you got any last words?" And he said, "Yeah, I got some last words. Fuck all y'all." Switch. They did that on a stage. Oh my God. That shit was crazy as a mother. I'm talking about, he almost blew the roof off this motherfucker, man. That was just one song. That was just the first song. And he proceeded to go on a tear for the rest of the fucking night, man. I was like, God damn. I can't let y'all come in here and disrespect Ice Cube, man. You have to know his, like somebody said earlier, you have to know these guys' catalog. A lot of this shit was a long time ago. Long time. Like, I was a teenager. I was a young teenager, 14, 15, 16, shit like that. But Ice Cube was the dude, man. Y'all just don't know. You have no idea. Scarface body him on. I know you're not talking about the hand of the dead body. Scarface didn't body him. Nobody got bodied. Both of them niggas got off. Nobody wants to hear the Hard Knock Life song. That was a pop song. It's a Hard Knock Life. It's a pop song. That song did for him what it was supposed to do. I think that's his best-selling single ever. It did what it was supposed to do for him. But that, I don't think he would draw that card to perform in a versus competition. I don't think you would hear that. Bulletproof Love from Brownsville houses Edgemere houses, Far Rockaway in Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Salute to you, King. Continued success for you and your business endeavors. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, but in a verses, that song is losing to Dear Mama. Why would you bring Dear Mama to a versus? The versus competition is going to be gauged and judged by performance. What you want a motherfucker? What you want him to get on stage and perform Dear Mama and motherfuckers start crying and shit like that? Don't nobody want to hear that shit, man. That song is a damn sedative. You're gonna cry and go to sleep. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's not no song that you take to a versus. If you take Tupac songs to a versus, you would take My Life as a Superstar, So Many Tears, Picture Me Rolling, Ambitions of a Rider. You know what I'm saying? Songs like that. You got to get mine. I got to get yours with MC Breed. You would take your extreme firepower. He could take the song. Well, them songs belong to fucking Spice One. I was gonna say he could take Jealous Got Me Strapped, and he got some shit. Dear Mama wouldn't be no song that a person would take the verses. Damon was my shit. Yeah, How to Survive in South Central. How to Survive in South Central was from the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. Somebody said Twister from the Midwest. You could throw him in there. Five of LL Cool J's albums. LL was the first person to coin the term GOAT, greatest of all time. LL can compete. You take from that first album, Radio. You can just go from Radio to like the Boom and System album, which is Mama Said Knock You Out. That's total chaos. That's total chaos. For real. And the thing about LL, I'm gonna keep it real about LL, right? LL did one of these, and there was nowhere else for him to go. And then he kind of like, and then he kind of declined a little bit, right? What I mean by that is this: he took off like a rocket. He was the man. By the time he got to that song, "Backseat of My Jeep," he was probably declining, right? Then he did that song, "Something Like a Phenomenon." When he did that, I'm like, he's dead. I'm like, he's dead. I'm like, he's dead. He just seemed old, outdated, and tripping. Something like a phenomenon. So it just, I thought he was dead. And then 4321 came, and it was like, oh my God. It was like, oh my God, he's back. You know what I'm saying? So it continued to get, it took off again. That's when he ripped Cannabis all up on that song and shit. Like, so he's been able to sustain. He's been one of the top rappers, man. Even when he stepped away to go do acting and shit, he just, like he said, greatest of all time. And he always said, battle anybody, I don't care who you tell. So he's in it. People named him. They did. They think Pac's career started with All Eyes on Me. They never talk about his first two albums. I was just trying to say it without sounding, I don't know, malicious. But that first one with Brenda's Got a Baby, that had Brenda's Got a Baby, another funeral song. It had When My Homies Call, that was good. I forget what was all on there. When My Homies Call, Me Against the World. No, when My Homies Call, Brenda's Got a Baby, and Soldier Story, which was the story of Jonathan Jackson and George Jackson. All I wanted to be, a soldier, a soldier. That was those are probably the highlights of that first one. And then the second one was, I believe it was called Strictly for My Niggas. That had Gotta Keep Your Head Up and a couple of other joints. That wasn't the shit either, all like that. It wasn't. When Tupac came out, he was in shark water because Tupac was somebody that you would consider a gangster rapper. But when he came out, Scarface was already on the loose. Ice Cube was already on the loose. Spice One came out in 1992 and blew past him. Tupac came out before Spice One. I'm almost positive. Yeah. Spice One came out in 92 with that Welcome to the Ghetto joint. I think it was called Welcome to the Ghetto. No, it was called 187 Proof, I think. Whatever Spice One solo debut, he blew past Tupac. He did. And Tupac's reverence for Spice One was mentioned in many interviews when Big Sean told a story of him hopping in the car with Tupac and Haitian Jack. He said Jack didn't like weed, but he let Tupac smoke weed in his car. He said they pulled up on him and they was blasting Spice One. That tell you what it is and shit. I Get Around. That's the joint. That was the banger off that CD, strictly for my niggas. I get around. I love it when what he say? I love it when she licks her lips. See, put a little twist in her hips, cause I'm watching. Conversation on the phone to the break of dawn. Now we all alone while the lights on. Turn them off. Time to set it off. Get you wet and soft. Something's on your mind. Let it off. Dope ass video. He was he was coming. He was on his way. He was on his way. He was. Pac wouldn't even perform Dear Mama. He got way more shit. I Get Around as a versus song. Facts. I would definitely use that. She got arrested for allegedly hiding evidence for a husband and wife stealing from a non-profit organization. They raided Kim's house a few days ago. She's released on bail. Everybody's doing some underhanded shit. Gully Hove said only two rests in heaven can be mentioned in the same breath as him. I like that. I like that you pulled that card. I like that you pulled that card, man. I lived through that shit though. In '96, Tupac attacked the whole East Coast, man. He was attacking everybody. Mobb Deep, Jigga, Nas, Biggie, just everybody. He went berserk. So that has to be acknowledged. But that was like him at his peak. He died after that. Pac didn't live long enough to battle Jay-Z in the verses, but his influence is way further than Jay-Z. Hove beats everybody. The only one who can stand tall is Snoop. I disagree. I'm going back to Cali. I didn't like that. Biggie remade that song. LL Cool J had a song called Pink Cookies. Put pink cookies in a plastic bag. I totally didn't understand what the fuck that was about. Somebody in here just mentioned it. Pink cookies in a plastic bag. That was terrible. Terrible. His first album is the shit. Me Against the World, Pac best album. Me Against the World is heavy. That's the joint that got so many tears on it. So Many Tears is a heavyweight fucking song. That was heavy. But the double disc, I think Tupac and Suge Knight was the first to do a double disc in hip hop. And that would be All Eyes on Me. That was a heavy joint. Very, very heavy joint. If he performed those songs, man, heavy. I Get Around was his breakout song. Illmatic can't fuck with Reasonable Doubt, y'all. Nobody really cared about Pac until Death Row. I can't agree with that. There was certain niggas that around my way, they liked the Tupac, man. They liked the Tupac, man. They used to be singing this song. My definition of a thug nigga. Some niggas just liked it, that shit. They did. He had this song on the Above the Rim soundtrack. Think Above the Rim. The Above the Rim soundtrack came out in '94, summer '94, something like that. He had a song on there called So Much Pain. I had a homie named Joker. He lived that shit. That shit was like the Bible to him. That shit was like Malcolm X was speaking to him. It was like Minister Farrakhan was speaking to him, like a preacher, an ordained minister was preaching to his soul. And that song is So Much Pain is it's a heavy song. It is. If you listen to it, he was going hard on there. He was. You could tell he poured his heart out on that song. He ripped that. Pac was different. I agree. LL was battling three dudes on them albums. Tupac came out rapping revolutionary rap till he got shot. Jump in New York, then all hell break loose. The West Coast changed this whole dynamic. I agree with you. Shout out to Detroit. Somebody says Snoop garbage. Snoop can't be in the discussion because Snoop has admitted to having ghostwriters. He's admitted it. He said it on fucking Instagram. I was like, damn, fam. I'm like, damn. Why would you say that? That just disqualifies you from everything. Anybody who has any, if your name is associated with ghostwriter in any shape, way, or fashion, you are disassociated, disqualified with being in the GOAT conversations. You can't be in the GOAT conversation. Maybe a ghostwriter can, but you can't. We've never heard about Ice Cube having a ghostwriter. Never heard about Tupac having a ghostwriter. Same go for Nas and Jay-Z and Spice One and Scarface. It was never mentioned. Are you still down as Good Money? Machiavelli was heavy as well. Machiavelli was very heavy. Very heavy. Shit, some people will say Machiavelli is his best one. It depends what you like. There is no reasonable doubt without Illmatic. How could you say something like that when Illmatic was a guy just, rapping his ass off, putting on a dazzling performance, and Reasonable Doubt is a nigga talking about selling drugs. Illmatic wasn't about selling drugs. He probably mentioned pitching in the park off the project benches and shit, but like I said earlier, if you didn't live that life, that shit that Jay-Z was talking on Reasonable Doubt, it didn't mean nothing to you. It just went over your head. And to be truthful, when Reasonable Doubt came out in 96, I was about 18. It was like, Nas was the man at the time. Well, actually, it was Nas. It was not. Nas was the man at the time, and Tupac was attacking everybody. Also, Built from Cuban Links came out for 95. We were still listening to that. And then you had a whole bunch of niggas from the Bay Area and the West Coast that was out at the time. Tupac wasn't the guy at the time. I say this all the time. And Jay-Z just wasn't the guy at the time. But when I got older and I listened to Reasonable Doubt more and more and more, I was like, damn. I said, this wouldn't fit the lifestyle of a nigga that's 18 at the time. This is way over your head. This is Kingpin talk. The shit that would relate, that an 18-year-old would relate to at the time was like Mobb Deep. Yeah. Mobb Deep was for teenagers. Fabulous and Dave East used that pain beat. All Eyes on Me dropped in 96. Remember Jay-Z wrote the whole Still Dre song, Versus and Hook? Yep. Gully is not about hits and a verses. Did you see what Jada did to Dipset? What Jadakiss did to Dipset was he outperformed them. Jadakiss was performing songs that was from mixtapes and shit. Them freestyles that he did, like that one, the solo freestyle that fucked everybody up, that was off of a Biggie Smalls beat, Who Shot You. That wasn't even his beat. The shit that happened in the Locks versus the Diplomats, they kind of like almost bended the rules for Jadakiss. Jadakiss was performing shit that was off mixtapes. Those wasn't his songs. And the Diplomats didn't do that. The Diplomats was performing songs from albums. So it's a difference. Trade and War Stories. Spice One is on that joint. I mean, not Spice One. Sibo is on that. Illmatic was focused on Nas' wordplay and skills. I agree. I thought Snoop was referring to them other genres he taps into with the ghostwriting, the raps. But did I misunderstand that? I thought he just flat out I thought he admitted to having a ghostwriter. Two different subject matters, Jay-Z and Nas. I agree, Reggie. I appreciate your super chat. You play We Be Clubbing by Ice Cube, I'm Leaving the Building. I thought that was a smash hit. I liked it, We Be Clubbing. Gully, you got to remember it took a long time for Reasonable Doubt to go platinum. I don't dispute that. I just said he was talking about a bunch of drug shit. That shit didn't. That wasn't a song that was gonna appeal to pop culture. Everybody wasn't selling cocaine. That's all Reasonable Doubt was about. Drugs. He said that was off of a DJ Clue tape. See? Dipset wasn't prepared for a sound clash. Verses about bringing your hardest shit, leave that popcorn shit at home. Pee-wee, I appreciate you. Make sure y'all go to my website, therealdribble.com. Get some of them PA knits, man. They fire. I've been here for 60 minutes, man. I got work to do. It's my hour. I need y'all to go and watch the interview that I did before this live stream with Bones Bagante. Please, please watch that interview. I promise you, you're going to thank me later. You're going to thank me later. You're going to thank me in the comments. It's so much information that he exposed. Freestyle Friday used to be recorded on a Wednesday, but they would be on there saying, it's Friday. Welcome to Freestyle Friday, everybody. They was pre-recorded. They basically chose who was gonna win the battle before it got on TV. He revealed that, you remember they used to have people calling in to BET to pick the top songs or your favorite video. Remember the countdown and shit like that? That shit was all staged. They already knew who was gonna be the top song. But a whole bunch of shit behind the scenes shit he revealed. It was just crazy. The same way that they ended up saying Pimp My Ride was some bullshit and MTV Cribs that wasn't those people's houses. Bones Bagante basically pulled the skirt up on Freestyle Friday. He told everything. And he also shared his personal relationship and his encounters with Poster Boy. And together, me and him both, we discussed the legacy of Poster Boy. It's one of the best interviews I've ever did. I got almost 5,000 videos on YouTube between 3 channels. I swear, promise you, go watch that interview I did last night with Bones Bagante. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. My website, therealdribble.com. Go through there and get them PA knits and get that trifecta. It's good for you. Peace.